A scary sight for drivers: fire along I-25 from Pueblo to Colorado Springs. The cause behind a number of blazes that shut down part of the highway. One boy in critical condition, 2 others rushed to the hospital. The latest on the investigation into a triple shooting just outside a Colorado school. And while most in the country spent the holiday with their family, soldiers from Fort Carson share how they celebrated this Thanksgiving from overseas.
Now, with 11 minutes of non-stop news and your no-wait weather, KKTV 11 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Tony Keith. Diane Derby and Don Ward have the night off. Take a look at this video from Dave Woodson. Several small brush fires right along I-25. The fires shut down the highway tonight for a short time. It happened on I-25 North, stretching all the way from Pueblo to Colorado Springs. A few of our viewers called concerned about the flames and smoke just feet away from their vehicles. This picture from Morgan Schonk. Our 11 News crew got on scene just before firefighters were pulling up. 11 News reporter Jessica Light joins us live from I-25 near mile marker 130. That's just south of Mesa Ridge Fountain and Parkway. Excuse me, just south of Mesa Ridge, south of Fountain. Jess, how do these fires start?
Well, Anthony, State Patrol says a truck that was dragging a muffler sparked all of those fires. There were so many that firefighter crews had to go leapfrog from fire to fire, trying to get them out. Now, this is where the last one was. You'll definitely be able to see the burn scars tomorrow morning.
Take a look at this. Just a couple miles south, a viewer took this video. A scary scene for families traveling on an otherwise calm Thanksgiving night. This is what it looked like when I got to the scene. You can see flames and heavy smoke. It appears some drivers pulled over with shovels to try and help. Firefighters worked their way north, putting out the fires one by one. Colorado State Patrol says the driver of the truck could get a citation for a defective vehicle.
On this Thanksgiving, I want to thank all of those firefighters who were working so hard to get these fires out and protect our community. I hope they are having an okay night, and we thank them. Reporting live in Fountain, Jessica Light, KKTV 11 News.
Thanks, Jess. Developing right now. 3 people are in the hospital this Thanksgiving, all 3 shot near a Colorado school. The crime happened in Denver at about noon. Police were called to a parking lot near Manual High School. It's a few blocks northwest of Denver City Park. One of the victims, a boy, was last listed in critical condition, shot multiple times. Investigators believe there could be as many as 3 suspects involved in the shooting. Right now, no one is in custody. Well, new details about a deadly crash that happened last night. We now know a woman was killed. Our news partners at the Gazette are reporting that friends have identified the victim as 25-year-old Melvia Beery. The crash happened on I-25 near the MLK bypass in Colorado Springs. We brought this to you in an 11 breaking news alert. Police tell us the car burst into flames after crashing into a concrete barrier. They say the driver veered off the interstate and at some point flipped her car, either before or after hitting the concrete wall. Police have not released the name of the woman who died, but again, like we reported, our 11 News partner, the Gazette, got her name. New developments: a coffee shop is vandalized after posting a controversial sign. This is the sign that was outside Ink Coffee Shop in Denver's River North neighborhood. It says, "Happily gentrifying the neighborhood since 2014. Now, this is a video of the vandalism that happened at the coffee shop overnight. It's located in an area where many people have struggled to stay in their homes as real estate prices soar.
Why on earth would anybody think that this was a good idea? Is it, as a piece of advertising, as a piece of marketing outside of your place of business, seems pretty tone deaf.
Now, that sign created a backlash on social media. The coffee shop issued a public apology over Twitter yesterday. It said our joke was never meant to offend our vibrant and diverse community. And this was some of the response. One person replied to their tweet saying, quote, "Y'all need to be shut down. Gentrification isn't and never has been a joke. It literally displaces people, changes their lives often in the worst ways." And new tonight, one of the most unique and challenging trails in the country, found right here in southern Colorado, reopened ahead of schedule. The 3rd phase of reconstruction for the Manitou Incline is complete. 11 News reporter Spencer Wilson took his first hike, more like a climb, up the steps to show you firsthand the new installments.
These 27,000 steps present a real challenge to most people.
Yeah, I've averaged over 1 a day for the last 6 years. So I usually get 300 to 500 a year. I don't know, I just started doing it and kind of got addicted to it.
You can imagine Steve's surprise when this round of remodeling finished up right in time for Thanksgiving.
A nice Thanksgiving gift to find out it was going to open 9 days earlier this year, so I was super stoked about that.
This round of updates focused on the last third of the climb, installing retaining walls and eliminating some not-so-coveted features.
At the end, there used to be this nasty rock that he'd slip on every time, and it's gone. And
People who haven't seen the trail for a while tell me what it looked like a couple of years back.
It was a little sketchy, but definitely worth it.
Just one day after the remodel, and the trail is already bustling with holiday hikers, all looking to offset some of the feasting that comes with Thanksgiving.
this afternoon, we'll do our fair share of sitting.
Yep.
I like the idea of, if you eat a bunch of turkey, growing up, you'd always feel guilty. Now, I'm going to earn that turkey, and I already paid it forward.
Yeah, totally.
On the Manitowoc Incline, Spencer Wilson, KKTV 11 News.
11 minutes of non-stop news continues with this. Happening right now. Police are looking for 3 criminals who mugged 2 men at a traffic light. It happened early this morning at an intersection near the Citadel Mall in Colorado Springs. The victims told police a dark-colored Jeep pulled up to the intersection right next to them. Then 3 men jumped out wearing bandanas and forced them to hand over their valuables at gunpoint. Both victims were punched and have minor injuries. Right now, there's no description of those suspects. Also happening right now, authorities still hoping for your help in finding this man. 78-year-old Carl Newcomb is considered an endangered missing person. He was last seen a week ago here in El Paso County. Carl hasn't been in contact with his family, which they say is not normal. We're told it's possible he may have been involved in a car crash. He drives a silver Dodge Grand Caravan with Colorado license plates. If you see him, call the sheriff's office. Well, we have an update to a deadly crash near Walsenburg. State Patrol says the passenger of a Jeep survived an initial 3-car crash, but was killed after an oncoming semi-truck swerved to avoid the original pileup. Happened yesterday morning on I-25. 59-year-old Manuel Cobos was struck and killed when the semi-truck hit a Jeep, spinning the Jeep into him. The initial crash is still under investigation. Speed, alcohol, and drugs are not believed to be factors at this time. A high-profile Washington lawyer says a congressman verbally abused her when she worked for him on Capitol in the 90s. The House Ethics Committee opened an investigation into Congressman John Conyers this week after it was revealed he paid a former staffer more than $27,000 to settle a complaint. That staffer said she was fired for refusing Conyers' sexual advances. Melanie Sloan worked for Conyers as a House Judiciary Committee staffer. She says she tried to talk to her supervisor, but concerns were dismissed.
He would yell and scream at me. There was a time where he screamed at me for not wearing stockings.
An attorney for Conyers says he is taking the allegations, quote, very seriously, but he has no plans to resign. Well, now to your no-wait weather as we're joined by Lucy Bergman. And Lucy, I want to know, it was a beautiful Thanksgiving, but what are temps like right now?
Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s, so if you're headed out for Black Friday shopping right now, you might want to grab a jacket, but we won't have to worry about wind chills really here until the morning. So temperatures in the Springs, 51 degrees, 42 in Pueblo, and we've kind of been bouncing in between the 40s and 50s for the last couple hours here, so it's still pretty mild for late November. Normally we bottom out in the 20s here, and we're only going to bottom out in the 40s overnight tonight. So headed out for Black Friday shopping, plan on temperatures in the 40s and 50s here for the midnight hours, and we're similar places here for 6 a.m. You might notice a little bit of a breeze, so it could feel just a few degrees cooler as you're doing your shopping, but by the midday hours here on the day Friday, we're already into the 70s in both Colorado Springs and Pueblo, which is close to record-breaking temperatures. We did make it there in Pueblo today with a new record high set, thanks to a lot of warm weather and dry conditions here. And the hour-by-hour forecast is pretty similar. We may see a few clouds through the afternoon hours here, and they want to bring in some shower chances, mainly east of El Paso County. Could clip areas like Calhoun and Ellicott later tomorrow afternoon and evening, all with a cold front that will cool us down for the weekend ahead. But I'm not too enthusiastic about these rain chances. I think, if anything, it will be a quick shower or two, and then it's quickly out of here for your Friday evening plans. So high temperatures tomorrow, going to be very similar to how they were today, maybe a few degrees warmer in some spots with a little bit more sunshine. Plan on 74 degrees here in Colorado Springs for the day. Tomorrow, 62 in Monument and Woodland Park. You'll be at 67, 75 from Canyon City out to Pueblo and out across the High Plains. A lot of 70s there as well. And we take a little bit of a dip temperature-wise here as we head into Saturday, but we're still in the 60s, which is fantastic compared to how we're supposed to be in the 50s and 40s for this time of year. And then we're back warmer as we head into the second half of the weekend. So if you are planning to go to the Air Force game on Saturday night, plan on temperatures in the 40s for most of that game, maybe a little bit of a breeze too. But again, that's one of our coolest days for the first half of the 7-day forecast. Second half of the 7-day forecast, a little bit different a story here. We noticed that cold front move through Monday into Tuesday, dropping our temperatures back into the 40s and 50s here. Again, a slight chance of a rain or snow shower late Tuesday into Wednesday. And Pueblo, similar forecast here. Warm for the first half, cooler for the second half. Rain, snow chance late Tuesday into Wednesday. Canyon City, plan on temperatures in the 60s and 70s this weekend. Plenty of sunshine as well, cooler for the second half. And finally for Woodland Park, plenty of sun, 60s and 70s, cooling back into the 40s for the second half of the weekend, but still not bad. Tony?
Hey, thanks as always, Lucy. A piece of Colorado Springs history preserved for more than a century. A peek into the past and how Coloradans celebrated Thanksgiving in the late 1800s. But first, while many of us were able to enjoy this holiday with friends and family, we hear from a handful of the many Fort Carson soldiers serving our country overseas this Thanksgiving.
You're watching KKTV 11 News with Don Ward, Diane Derby, Chief Meteorologist Brian Bledsoe, and Sam Farnsworth with sports. This is KKTV 11 News at 10.
New information, police are looking for a green sedan after its driver intentionally rammed into a fire truck. This happened about 11 this morning on Roosevelt Street. That's near Pikes Peak and Shelton here in Colorado Springs. Firefighters were responding on a welfare check after the suspect was seen sitting in his car. They say when the suspect saw the fire truck pull up, he rammed it and took off. Nobody was hurt, and there is no description of the suspect other than the vehicle he was in. Well, the traditional Thanksgiving includes food, family, and of course football. But for Fort Carson soldiers overseas, Thursday, November 23rd isn't your typical turkey day. 11 News anchor Rebecca Hoger took the time to see how some soldiers spend the holidays far from home.
This year for Thanksgiving and Christmas, about 100 soldiers from Fort Carson are thousands of miles away in Poznan, Poland. They spoke to me through Skype, the same way many of them are contacting their family members this weekend.
Hello.
Specialist Megan Palmer's husband is in Colorado Springs, their second holiday being apart.
I miss him dearly and I wish I was home because this is our second holiday season being married.
Although Thanksgiving is an American tradition, Sergeant Scott Evans says they're getting some European help spreading the holiday spirit.
But we got some cooks from the Army that are going to be helping out some of the Polish cooks to cook American-style meals for Thanksgiving. So we're going to have turkey, ham, all the dressings, and we're also going to have in the morning time a little bit of a flag football. It's actually going to be the Polish soldiers versus the American soldiers.
They're separated from their families by at least 12 hours on a plane.
It'll be my first time away for the holidays.
But Specialist Nicholas Morin says he still has a lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving.
Just happy that they're making this as nice for the soldiers as possible.
The soldiers won't be home in Colorado for several more months. In the meantime, sending their love and holiday greetings from overseas.
Happy holidays, guys. I hope you guys are having a great time back there in the States.
Love you guys and hope to be home soon.
And happy Thanksgiving from all of us at KKTV to our military men and women overseas. The soldiers we spoke to are in Poland to provide security and deter any potential aggression against our allies. They're expected to come home sometime in the spring. Rebecca Hager, KKTV 11 News.
Well, increased security and a massive show of police force kept the biggest Thanksgiving parade in America safe this holiday. An estimated 3.5 million people came out to watch the balloons, clowns, and bands march through the streets of New York City. For kids, the only worry was being able to see their favorite balloon pass by in the sky.
It's really exciting, and I love all the energy because it's really happy.
It's like a kind of a family tradition to get here, get the front row seat.
New York's mayor said there were no credible or specific threats surrounding the parade. But after a man drove a truck onto a bike path, this was last month, and killed 8 people, police weren't taking any chances. Well, bargain hunters are stepping away from the Thanksgiving table tonight, looking for those holiday deals earlier than ever. An estimated 32 million shoppers hit the stores today. Now, experts say retail stores have seen a decline in recent years, but consumers are still loyal to them for their holiday shopping. Traditional brick and mortar retailers are doing everything they can to compete with online competition.
It was, was Black Friday, and it was Black Friday weekend, and it was even Black Friday week. Now it's Black November. And what basically that means is consumers are offered the opportunity to get deals all month long.
The average shopper will spend close to $1,000 on gifts this holiday season. Nearly a third of them will split their shopping between online and in-store purchases. Well, still to come on 11 News, the debate continues at the dinner table. Is it stuffing or is it dressing? Plus, we throw back this Thursday, Thanksgiving style, a piece of Colorado Springs history preserved for more than a century.
Precious Metals Report brought to you by Hallenbeck Coin Gallery. Whether buying or selling, dealing with us makes good sense.
KKTV, Air Academy Federal Credit Union, and Peak Structural would like to wish all of our military members and their families a happy holiday season. Thank you for your service. Happy holidays from all of us at KKTV, Air Academy Federal Credit Union, and Peak Structural.
Well, Thanksgiving traditions continue to stand the test of time. 11 News reporter Lisa Chin takes us on a walk down memory lane through the history of Thanksgiving here in the Springs.
Thanksgiving is all about tradition, and that's what so many people love about it, is that it really hasn't changed much, and our collection demonstrates that.
A holiday of traditions. Friends, family, food, and yes, even shopping have been associated with Thanksgiving for centuries. A menu from one of the first restaurants in Colorado Springs, preserved by the Pioneers Museum.
From Thanksgiving menu, 1875, lists all that was served, and it was kind of a slaughterhouse of meats.
A similar menu of meats from the Antlers Hotel in 1883.
Boiled leg of mutton, there's a roast turkey, prairie chicken, mallard duck, venison was served.
Relatively small, only a couple thousand, Colorado Springs doubled in population when it became a military town in 1942.
At a USO-style event, a traditional Thanksgiving meal served at the City Auditorium, right downtown Colorado Springs, so a large gathering of enlisted soldiers.
And more from the archives. Postcards to and from loved ones who weren't able to make it home for the holiday. Newspaper articles about turkey dinners and ads appealing to baby boomers to get going on their Christmas shopping. A reminder from so many yesterdays that despite all the change, today, 2017, really isn't all that different from 1875. Reporting in Colorado Springs, Elisa Chin, KKTV 11 News.
Just love that museum. Be sure to check this out on Saturday. The Pioneers Museum will be wrapping up their Fall Family Fun Days. It'll be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. There's going to be pumpkin pie, crafts, a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving will be playing along with popcorn and lemonade, and families can explore the new children's exhibit with activities.
It's like you're cooking for an army.
Yes, ma'am. I've been doing this for so long. I love it.
Well, for as long as this grandmother can remember, she's been caring for dozens of her littlest neighbors in Crowley, Louisiana. Alma Johnson runs what has become an unofficial daycare for a community in desperate need of a caring hand.
My house is never empty, never. 7 days a week, I always have some kids here.
How do you do it?
I just love it because I made a promise to the Lord, and He gave me the strength to do it.
She doesn't charge for her services. Parents pitch in what they can for food, toilet paper, and diapers. Well, a big debate on what to call a classic Thanksgiving side dish, and all depends on where you're from. Some people call it stuffing if it's been cooked inside a turkey, and dressing if it's baked in a dish, but in New England, they tend to refer to it as stuffing regardless of how it's prepared. It's the opposite in the Deep South, where it's usually dressing. According to History.com, everyone used to refer to the starchy side as stuffing. The term dressing came about during the Victorian era because it sounded more polite. And finally, some people in Pennsylvania are completely out of the debate. They call it filling. Well, the Broncos have been busy filling this week up, trying to put the parts in place so this team can get a win, Taylor.
I think we're all ready for a win, aren't we?
Oh my gosh, it's been a
Denver is
rough
thirsty
season.
for it. It's very true. Yeah, so new quarterback, Paxton Lynch. Is he the right guy for Bill Musgrave's new system? He's taken over. We're going to hear from the quarterback coming up next. Plus, we're going to...
A lot of you are getting a head start on your Christmas shopping here and holiday shopping. Black Friday, if you're headed out at midnight, plan on temperatures in the 40s. Will be similar to wake up at 6 a.m., maybe a little bit cooler here with the wind chills. But temperatures, boy, are they on the increase as we head through the day. Tomorrow, we're up into the 70s by noontime and plenty of sunshine to go around. So you might want to do some shopping in shorts tomorrow.
That
Not
is
a bad idea.
Perfect
70s,
shopping
wow.
weather. Yeah, I know you two are talking about doing the shopping. It's not worth it to me.
No.
Not worth
No,
it.
Staying in.
yeah.
Yeah, I was happy with my football today, but hey, before we go, a huge shout out to those first responders working right now, and of course those serving our country. Have a great night and happy Thanksgiving.